Are we recording? Because it's like regular everyday shit. You don't even know if you're recording. You feel me? Oh, the boots.
I wore these boots down this weekend.
That shit look like sweaty.
Like they're done. They've been to raves, parties, the ball. Like
been through some things.
They've been through it all. I'm like, they're getting retired after this weekend.
For
it
real.
was a good run.
You gonna hang them up?
Yeah.
Okay, so starting off, you know what I'm saying? I asked everyone 3 questions. The 3 questions are, who are you, what do you do, and why do you do it?
Okay. I'm Jasmyn Milan. I'm an artist, creative. I do a little bit of everything from 3D animation, music, art. I have a clothing store, so I design for that.
Come on.
And I curate events too.
Yeah, talk about it. Why do you do it?
Why do I do it? I feel like I've always been like a creative, artistic person. I feel like the events came. I'm from Delaware, and it was kind of hard to get resources, so I always wanted to bring people together. So even with events, I started in my backyard, and creatives, I guess, who resonated with being like more of the outcast type, or not being over in a structured gallery or a structured venue of different things. So that's why I do events, and the other outlets is just because I might discover them along my journey and fell in love with them.
Word. So as far as doing everything, right, what was the first love for you? Like, what was the first thing that got you? Where you was like, ooh.
Drawing.
Ooh.
Like, when I was a baby, I had like a drawing table, and I would sit there and do that and just be scribbling and drawing monsters and drawing stuff like that. I kind of always was like a little off in the head. So it was like monster type stuff I always resonated with, or any like creatures. But everything else came slowly after, because I was like in theater camps, and I did a lot of different creative stuff growing up. So it was just like I already was introduced to a lot of this stuff I do at a young age.
For real. So when it came to like the monsters and stuff, you know how niggas is programmed to be scared and feared. Yeah. What made you different? You know what I mean? What made you intrigued from the monsters?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. That's such a great question. I really don't know. I know that when I got introduced to manga, before I even know what manga was, and I would go into the stores and look at comics and different stuff, I always I like how they do anime girls, like they shapes and they different eyes and stuff like that, but monsters too. So I don't know, but I don't think that was my first introduction, but maybe that was my first introduction to just seeing stuff like that in print. Even like video games I like early on, I feel like they always still had like...
What did you like video games was?
I want to say, I don't know if this is the first video game, but Space Channel 5, have you heard of that? Yeah, like the reporter, and then it just had all the components and things that I still see outlined in my art, even if it's not on purpose. It's like,
damn, that makes sense.
Yeah, a fly chick, she from outer space, she on her grind or whatever,
CYBERGIRL.
And then exactly, she is the original CYBERGIRL, and that was I was probably in Target or something as a real young girl, and saw that cover, and it was like had like a moving cover, and I was like, oh, I need this no matter what. And my dad always been in video games and anime, so he was with my shits. I probably maybe got that from him and stuff he watched. And my dad likes anime, he likes gore movies, he likes a lot of the same type stuff.
So would you consider yourself a daddy's girl?
No, not really. Like it's like I feel like my dad, he don't resonate with his artistic side as much as I remember when I was younger. He kind of like wanted to conform. And me, I went the opposite direction. You introduced me to it, now I'm gonna take it and run with it. So I feel like I have a lot of his traits and different stuff, but I don't know who he is now. I don't really feel like I'm the same type of person. But
So you know how a lot of times when it comes to parents, especially like when you give your kids the game and they kind of did what you didn't do or was afraid to do, is there a sense of jealousy, or he's like fully supportive?
No, he'd never been supportive of artistically, because he just wanted me to have a career. You know, the parent scares of
pay the bills, stability, security, and all that shit.
I'm like, I'd rather die, I'd rather be broke, I don't even care, I'd rather do what makes me feel fulfilled and happy, and not like a slave every day. And I've tried conventional routes along my journey. They just don't fucking work for me. Like, it's evidently not gonna work, and it's always pushing me back into the direction of what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
So
that's what's up. So when it comes to like CYBERGIRL, you feel me? I see that's getting the origin of that. When you took it off and ran with it, did you kind of just like dive into it, or did you have a set plan of like, okay, this is the aesthetic?
I think I just always been like a kind of little computer nerd a little bit. So I feel like I haven't taken it as far as I really even want to yet. But just like us talking about Space Channel 5 and stuff like that, I'm like, dang, I didn't even know, like, well, I didn't think about how those things like really molded me to be. And it's things that I watched. And I feel like I grew up around a lot of 3D references, and honestly, before I really knew what was going on in the 3D world. So I've been in like into the cyber virtual video games, learning technology, all that stuff for a good minute. And I think I wanted to kind of mesh into a world of its own to the point that I can do like visual projects, and I have like my clothes in it, and it still makes sense with the music, and it all kind of just like is one world. Like what's that one? I think it was called like Sita's World or something like that. And she did like videos and
that was like back in the day. It was like on BET, right?
Or a Toonami type of structure to where even I can have my CYBERGIRL character and just keep really going with that whole thing. So I think I kind of knew, like, I was like, all right, I'm in the cyberspace, and now I just need to take it to the next level.
For sure. So do you consider yourself an extroverted introvert or extrovert?
I feel like I'm definitely both, because I see me in certain settings. Like the people who know me from creative settings would never know how quiet I am in settings that aren't creative. Like sometimes like when I went to college and stuff, I just didn't have the words. I don't know. I just when I'm in that art show or something like that, it's easy for me to maneuver, hang around, or just, I don't know, be my more comfortable self. So it's your element. It definitely depends on the setting, because I can be super introverted and not say a word, and I'm like almost asking myself like, damn, are you awkward? You know, like, and I probably am sometimes, for real. But like I said, people who know me from certain settings wouldn't know that, because I'm always like out there speaking to everybody and doing everything.
No, because I was asking, because when you really think about it, being someone, especially within our community, like when you into shit that niggas is not into, it's kind of hard to feel apart. You know what I mean? So a lot of times we have that isolation to where you just hone in and focus on your world and create your world. And I noticed that with your music, with your merch, with your art, with everything, you literally create a world. So is that intentional?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I do think I get introverted in my little world sometimes, and I feel like sometimes it's maybe because I'm not always in settings I feel understood, or I feel so I put a lot into my work, and it goes back into like just my creative endeavors. So I think I am creating this world, and I do want to be like the pillar of this world, but I want to slowly branch in people, a community of people that it makes sense for. You know, I think every artist, we should have our own ecosystem of things that the people who resonate with that, they coming from all over, and you might have never expected it. So but right now, a lot of time I do spend like alone, focused on my little thing.
Recharge. For sure. So one of my favorite joints from you is Watch Your Mouth. And going back to overall aesthetic, a bar that stood out for me was I dress like Bajort, but I'm on that dick like Trina. I don't know if it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay, so like that line right there, I really love it, because not a lot of niggas know about Bajort. You know what I'm saying? Because her coming from Iceland, being the first artist to be popping overseas, you feel me, still relevant. And then her style, her elegance, but then Trina was just like, you feel me?
It give you the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you know so like, would you say that's like you in a sense?
I feel like I'm a fusion of so many different artists that I like and maybe because when I'm working on something, I don't specifically think of anybody, but like that doesn't mean they can't still be an influence. Like I'm like, you know, our influence is not always I'm thinking of Bjork when I wrote this song, but just knowing like, dang, I was inspired by that style, or I'm definitely inspired by like her visuals and things like that. I'm inspired by Trina too, you know. So I grew up like in the hood, but I was the creative person out of the group or whatever. So I always like some different shit too. But I was still with the girls on my 8th grade bus singing Trina and all that stuff.
What's your favorite Trina joint?
That's a great question.
Cause she got them hits. Boy.
She got so many. Like, she got a song called "Hustling," and that made me feel like
that's on the B-sides right there.
Yeah, she give me like it make me want to hustle. But she got so many songs that like she got Baddest Bitch, she got Killing You Hoes. It's like
the different moves.
Charged me up. Yeah, like she really the OG.
Yeah, for sure. What about Bajort? Well, like, do you just appreciate? Because you know, a lot of times when it comes to inspirations, a lot of people equate the inspiration from just music. So would you say Bajort is just more so the overall aesthetic? Yeah.
I like her music too.
Word.
I don't like every project, but I don't think you're supposed to. I think a real unique artist, like even me, I don't think people would like my whole catalog all the time, but it's like because she took risks with different things. That's like fashion, you know. If you are being eccentric, you being your true self, everybody not gonna accept every price. So I'm like, I like some projects more than others, but her aesthetically and what she brings to the table and her overall just ambiance as a creator and the boundaries she always pushes, even at like even now, because it's like she's still DJing out there and still going on tours and still breaking boundaries and innovating. So I'm like, I think it's her whole thing for me more than even just the music, which is super important too.
Facts. And the fact that she's 54 still doing this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's out there staying present. Even when she DJs and I hear a set, a little snippet, I'm like, Bjork know what the fuck going on.
Yeah. But also just how she kind of just be in her own world, but know how to share herself with the world, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you know her house on that little island joint where she got, and then how she just moved. But
crazy. I think I saw her like DJing some underground after party, and then she was playing Drake or something. But I'm like, see, she not too, you know, I love when people are like creative and unique, but they still, they're not afraid to be, like something mainstream or like, you know, different type of artists. So yeah, I fuck with Bjork.
Because you have niggas who's like trying to be too underground. You
know so they don't fuck with nothing. And it's like, you don't gotta be like that. We're not a monolith. You don't have to be eccentric everything. Well, everything is eccentric in its own way. That's what I'm saying. And we can find a beauty and creativity in so much different type of art, even mainstream artists sometimes. So I fuck with that.
Nah, for real. So let me ask this. As far as being from Delaware, creating a scene in Delaware, and then, of course, being down here in North Carolina, because, you know, you be traveling, you be moving. But when it comes to those two locations, what would you say is the pros and cons in each scene?
Delaware doesn't have a foundation for the scene, really. Like, I feel like here, it could be more a foundation for artists to make money and actually sustain a career, but there is foundation. And there are always, everywhere I go, I'm around creative people no matter what. Like, we was in a random club the other day, and I see creative people that I know are out here working, out here doing stuff. Now I'm on a podcast. So I feel like it's a lot of ways to keep momentum because there's so many creative people around all the time here. And it's a lot of creative people in Delaware. But it's not a lot of things that bring us together. Like, sometimes people do pop-ups or stuff like that, but I've been gone for a minute. So when you come back, it's kind of like you starting completely fresh almost, because you got to learn what this scene is again and what's missing and what's not, and how you can work up from the bottom. But yeah, I think North Carolina is I'm just around it. I'm like, people like, oh, you want to take pictures, you want this, you want that. You always got a friend that can do something. Or maybe also it relies on how you manage your community in those areas too. Cause,
that's big.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, because my community is a creative community here. But home, it's like my friends. I got creatives around me too, but it's just like I said, we don't have that like anchor foundation of like, oh, we have a lot of open venues. Like here, sometimes venues are willing to work with you. Like Pinhook, we got venues that will talk to you and get to know you. Delaware, it's not like that. They try to be really corporate and tight in the areas that they have stuff. So it's a little different. Like even Shadowbox, they got a big storage. Like, you know,
I was about to say facts. We
got a lot of places that are coming up and you can do it yourself, and I like that here.
Nah, you was La Russell before La Russell. Pulled up in the backyard and had events. But that's what I love about how you move, because you never really was like, okay, I'm gonna wait on somebody to put me on. I'm gonna wait on niggas to give me a venue. You like, bro, fuck it. You got a backyard? Okay, what you got? You got lights? Okay, boom. Utilizing the community and bring everybody together. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's truly about. But another question I wanted to ask was the Jasmyn who was looking at the Space Channel 5. What advice would you give to her now with where you at?
Be more confident. Because like I feel like I have a confidence in a way, but I wasn't 100% sure about art. I was never like, you know, I'm gonna just fuck it. I'm gonna dedicate. I don't care what no family, no nothing say, no outside sources. I don't care if I gotta sleep on that couch. I'm gonna just do it until I make it. You know what I mean? And having that like real fire inside you that say I'm gonna make it. Because I feel like sometimes we might lose that romanticism, but romanticism is important for artists. Like we need to believe that the impossible is possible sometimes. So it's like, I would say that just be more confident that you can make anything fucking happen. Don't sit there and be like, oh, this is not realistic and da-da-da. Because as we grow up, we have to. Because shit, money coming to play, everything coming to play. You got terms, conditions to everything. So, but
real game.
Yeah, especially while you're young, just don't give a fuck and do it to the fullest extent and say fuck everybody, tune everybody out, and just be who you're supposed to be.
Big facts. Big facts. When did you get into fashion, yo? Like, how did you come about? I mean, we see the boots, they about to be retired and shit, you feel me? But like, how did you get into it?
I always like just dressing to express myself.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, I did have a little community in high school that was like, okay,
Word.
I found my little tribe of like weird kids like me from the hood, and we kind of pieced together. And I feel like that, that was pivotal for my development, because I always was like that, and I just didn't care, like, being from Delaware, because I remember a point in time where dyeing your hair was weird, like having green hair or shit like that. But I always was like that. I always pierced my face up, always got tattoos, like, so yeah, I just like always like expressing myself. So I've had like a whole bunch of fluid different times. Like, it's times I dress completely like streetwear tomboy-ish. There's times I only wear platforms, or it's just different stuff. So I just always been like that.
So would you say your style of how you were is what it is that you present within your merchandise, within your stuff and everything? So like describe your style when it comes to what it is that you give to the people.
See, I'm trying to like develop it in a more way, because right now my clothes is mostly like, okay, my art just on something. Gotcha, so I'm trying to like think of ways I can be like, all right, like what would I really like imagine from scratch to where like, so I'm like designing shirts and like drawing out the stuff. So I'm just trying to push myself in that way, to not be linear. But I definitely think I would wear, of course I'll wear all my shit. Like, of course I fuck with it. And but I just want to push it to the next level too, and really like be like, because even like Bajork or artists like that, I like that couture shit that like, okay, it might be worn one time by artists in a video or something like that, but I guess I want to make stuff like that for accessible for people who like might not have a big budget video, and it might be some fly shit, but it might be that fly shit you only wear one time. So that's why I kind of want to progress to.
Well, I mean, that's smart though. You work smarter and not harder, because even in that one moment, people can replay that. You know what I'm saying? So that moment is forever. Yeah,
I wanted to be more like a specialized, or just avant-garde, or even if it mixes streetwear. I'm still trying to figure out like my exact route with it, but I'm just having fun with it too at the same time.
As you should. But what I get from it, outside looking in, and then of course knowing you, is I like how I've always respected how you move. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of are the epitome of just making dreams come true. You feel me? To where you don't make excuses, you find a way. And the world that you create, you feel me? It's like, oh shit, this is feasible. This can happen. Yeah. So when it comes to the fashion and stuff, it's like, it represents freedom. You know what I mean? It represents expressing yourself. It represents like standing firm in your belief system within you. Yeah. Whatever it is. Yeah. Because even in the world that you create is very inviting. It doesn't feel like it's closed off and it's like only certain people can go in there. It's like any and everybody can take something from it. You know what I mean? So I've always respected that.
Yeah, our bio is for the risk takers, and that's what I feel like it is. And it's like, it don't matter, that can go for a big span of people. That's not only people who are rock star vibes. That's anybody like who just had their own sense of rebellion or a sense of leadership and sense of I'm doing what the fuck I want. I'm here. I'm loud. I'm proud. Like, so I try to embrace all that in my little world too.
Yeah, you do it. You do it well. But like, even in creating these worlds and what it is that you do, what are the biggest challenges you face on your path?
Honestly, my biggest challenge is resources and not money. Like, I got big ideas and I'm still trying to live life too and sustain. Yeah. That's honestly the real hardest part. Like, because I'm not going to even say, oh, a hater, and I'm like, I don't even know about none of that. I know money is the biggest issue, because just trying to elevate and doing it by yourself that's another thing. I'm doing it all by myself. Talk about so it's money, sometimes resources, and just trying to get things off the ground when you're doing so much by yourself, and you kind of like, I don't know, I'm used to moving that way. I'm open to having other people, but I just haven't had that dynamic yet. So I feel like sometimes, even with Bad Kitties, I see a lot that could have went better if I would have maybe had the resources to hire people to do more things, or just got more people in charge of different things. But it's a learning experience every time. But I'm starting to really see like, okay, you've done a lot by yourself. It's only so far you can go. You're going to need some help, some assistance, and fast forward to take off the way it needs to.
Facts. Do you feel like you're on the right path of finding that team? Or just the people? Or is it more internal work that you got to do to open up so that you can share what it is?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it both. Yeah. I think I got a lot of work to do, but I think I am, because I think sometimes, even with friendships, relationships, everything, we see things as linear. So I might not have that team that oh, they with me on tour yet or anything like that, but or go with me everywhere I go. But I do have somebody I can call for pictures somewhere.
For sure.
I might have to travel to get it. I do have somebody I can do for videos. I do have somebody who's willing to help.
Yeah.
They might be kind of scattered. They might not be, like I said, a cohesive thing yet, but I still have the support. I just sometimes got to work with it or think about it a different way than just thinking, oh yeah, my friend's supposed to be my manager, my photographer, or the people that I'm around might not be that exactly at the time. So I kind of have it though. Do it community, especially here. Like I said, if I can ask for stuff, I kind of have a team. It's just not a. But maybe I'm on the right track. I think I am.
I'll say it sounds like you are. It sounds like I think what it is, and another challenge that we gotta speak on too is when you just have the heart to want to build these communities, build these worlds. You want to bring everybody with you, but not everybody is fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because your drive, Drop's drive, my drive. You feel me? Like our drive is different. Like we really on it. Yeah. And not everybody want it. They just like the benefits that come with it.
They see the fun part. They might see Bad Kitty and be like, oh, it's turn. So I'm asking for assistance. And I'm like, all right, we got 50 million things to do. And for real, nobody who throws the shows that I know has fun at the show. You do not have fun. Like, even if it's the funniest little show, you going to be pulled a million places and doing so much different stuff. So, yeah, people see and think I'm just having a joyride all the time, which a lot of it is fun, but it's a lot of sacrifice, hard work, or I don't know, like moving in ways that people might not be willing to move to get to certain places. Facts. It's been times I'm like, went with me to a show. I think we got on a bus like 9 hours to go to New York, like one time, and came right back to like the next day or some shit like that. So it's like some people not willing to do that. They don't like, fuck no, I'm not getting on no bus or that long, you know. So sometimes it hasn't been glamorous or cute either. So.
Right. But it's still like, even in those moments though, that's what counts, you know what I mean? That's what builds that character. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah, and it ain't always been worth it either. Sometimes I've made that sacrifice or did that thing, maybe cost me money or you know what I mean? And that's just the realistic reality of artistry, and it's like people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to say like, hey, listen, I've been going in the red for this shit a long time, and it's hard as shit sometimes. They just want to see you turning up and having fun on Instagram, which is cute.
It's cool.
I love that. I love that.
Great marketing.
You don't know what my foundation is like, and it's like, at the end of the day, that's why we gotta give other artists grace, or how many things that somebody got because of maybe they drive or resources, not be afraid to ask, or how many no's they got in the process. Because I get rejected for a lot of things, told no all the time, told nobody venues, like, so it's all a part of the game.
But look at you now, though.
You're right.
Come on. So let me ask this. When it comes to being dedicated as the creative that you are, right? How do you deal with love? You feel me? Like, how do you manage that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard. It's difficult. Yeah, it's
difficult. I only date creative people. Not on like purpose, not to say like I haven't tried. It gravitates
to you though.
It's just like it gotta be something there that understands what's going on, and it's so maybe even what I'm attracted to, it's just like a person has to have that type of mindset to be like working on something and not waiting on me and things like that. They get it, and that's always been key. My usual dynamic that worked for me, like creative people. Working hard working creative.
Facts. Like really about it.
Really about it. Like I want to see you just doing some random shit, like while we in the crib, like just working on music. And I feel like, damn, I need to get on my shit a little bit more. You know, I like that vibe. And even if you're not where you want to be, I respect the person who grinding out, because that's what I'm doing too.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna cap. Like, I tried the whole dating outside of the creative shit, you feel me? And like, it did not work. It don't. Because they don't get it. They want you to be the main priority. They want to be number one. It's like, this comes first. Yeah,
and they don't see it as like a real thing or something sometimes. Unless they like super supportive of it. It's like they think they can be that main priority, because when you doing shit like, recording in the house or something like that, they won't think, no, it's time for us to hang out, or you know, this is my time. No, this is time for me to work on my dreams, because at the end of the day, like, it's a lot of pressure. Like, the reach sustainability as an artist is rare. It's super rare, so it's like,
we gotta have that focus, bro.
Exactly.
We got to, and the sacrifices that are made, bro. Like,
And yeah, it's like I said, it's not always fun because even sometimes you might not feel like doing the shit too. Yeah. That's all. Those people don't see it as a job, but it's like
it really is.
I want to work even when I don't feel like working because I'm trying to like work myself out of laziness. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, like when even making music, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't feel like it. I'm like, are you? Or I might not be inspired, so I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do it. But you're not going to be inspired for about nothing 100% of the time. You still got to put a little effort in to get inspired or something like that and not just wait. Because that's what I think I have a problem with sometimes too. I'm like, oh, I'm only doing when I feel it, which that's cool. That's my artistry style. But sometimes you might have to give yourself an extra push. You might be just mental that you not doing it, but you just got to get in the action of like, all right, at least I'm going to try to make a song. At least I'm going to try to draw something, you know, so.
Would you say discipline is a big thing for you right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing. That's the most pivotal thing because the creativity is there. Yeah. It's like having a little bit of freedom too. Cool. That can be dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And be able to do what you want for a little bit. It's dangerous. It's not sustainable. It'll trick you into thinking I can do this forever. You can't. So discipline, super important.
Nah, that's real. I love how we talking about shit that people normally don't talk about.
Facts.
Because it's needed. Like this journey, bro, is crazy. But you have to have a level of being psychotic.
Yeah.
Damn near.
Crazy as shit.
To even want to make this a belief and make it come true.
Yeah, it's definitely screws loose. Like that's why I say you gotta believe the impossible. Because even when other people tell you shit not realistic or your goals not realistic, your dreams not realistic, you gotta say fuck that. Yeah. And there's been times I didn't. Sometimes I have had it. Even if I did, I might have said it because I'm a person who will say fuck that. But sometimes it might have dented my mental in different ways that I didn't even discuss or really process. But overall my attitude definitely be like, all right, fuck it, like nah, I don't care if you say that's impossible, I'm doing that shit tomorrow. Like I don't care if I got the bread to do it, I don't care if I got the this and that, I'm gonna do it. So
what are ways you're improving your discipline?
I'm about to set a schedule for myself a little bit because I do not have that. Like and I just
you don't like routine?
And I just got diagnosed with ADHD. And Lord, when that psychiatrist gave me that test, we was 10 minutes and he was like, you got it. We gonna get you some help. We gonna get you some help. So I was like, you know what? You goddamn right. Because I'm like, I work on piece and piece a thing at a time. And sometimes people see me getting stuff done, so they don't understand how much it's like not getting done in the process or getting missed or different stuff like that. But I think maybe a schedule. Probably a loose schedule. But I need to hold myself accountable for deadlines and make deadlines. And I'm like, you have to think of it. I hate corporate world, but sometimes you have to think of it as your job. You need to get up, focus on your health and fitness. You need to make sure you look good because when you look good, you feel good.
Come on.
And get to work. Period. Because I was like, you know what? That retwist is everything.
Look, this is like 2 months in.
2 months in now? Yeah. They look good.
Thank you.
Ain't I like that color?
I'm trying.
But yeah, so definitely need discipline. Need to just think of it. I'm trying to not think of it as work because I want to have fun.
Yeah.
But
still,
it's like how can you add rules to it a little bit to give a little balance?
Yeah. How do you bend it and not break it?
Yeah. Because the seesaw never even. Sometimes I'm having too much fun, and I'm like, all right, you slipping. Yeah. Now let's get in lock-in mode. Yeah.
Then you be too locked in to where you like, hold on, nigga, like, go out.
I'm feeling isolated. I'm feeling really crazy. So, I'm trying to even that seesaw.
For sure. It's difficult, but it's manageable. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And accountability, that's what's happening right now. You was able to be like, hey, look, bro, this is what I need to do. So we got discipline, accountability. What's one more word for you?
Structure. Yeah. Definitely the structure.
Ooh. Elaborate on that after you finish your sip.
But maybe that's still about the scheduling. So I'm like, maybe that's the same thing.
I'll say it kind of aligns with discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Giving yourself structure. Because like I said, even my fitness, I'm trying to be, and I feel like that is helping in other ways. Because me being like, oh, you want to go to the gym by this time. Yeah. You going this amount of times a week. Holding myself accountable. Nobody sitting there checking me about it. Yeah. I mean, I'm still long off from my goal, and that's the thing about, I guess, getting into working out. It's like you might not see no results right away. You might have to make more changes than working out, because I'm working out now. Now I have to fix my diet. I got to tweak this and that in my lifestyle. So I'm like, but that whole structure of things, I feel like it's kind of pouring into other things and me thinking about it that same way. Like, all right, well, even with your creativity, you need to tighten up on this and that, and you need to, so. Facts. I think if you discipline in one facet, it definitely helps with the other ones. And sometimes fitness, it just can be there. I don't know. And it make me feel so mentally better because sometimes I'm going fucking nuts. Yeah. And I've worked out and I'm like, damn, like, I need that steam off. Facts. So
would you consider yourself an anxious person? And not like self-diagnosed, but just in a sense of you need outlets to get that energy out.
Yeah, anxious. Because I used to like be real nervous to the point I felt it. I don't feel that, but even just anger sometimes, or sometimes I get irritated quickly. But I feel like when I have an outlet, it's so much easier. But fitness has been a great outlet too. Like just letting off some sweat.
Yeah.
But yeah, my computer sometimes is my outlet too, or music, because I write songs. I'm like watching my. I definitely wrote when I was pissed off. A lot of songs I wrote when I was like, all right, I'm real pissed off. I need to talk my shit about something real quick, and then
listen. Look, watch your mouth. High fashion king. Yeah, you was talking your shit.
A lot of times something irked me real quick, and I was like, let me let it pour
I was like,
out.
my nigga talking her shit. Boy. Look, I was like, whoever hear this. They gonna know it's about them, but you slick with it though. You know how to do it, but you give just enough context.
It's definitely songs that I was directly thinking about whatever pissed me off in that moment, and I was like, you know what,
But I like how you generalize it though, because the emotion that you provoke for people is just like that, and full circle, right?
Yeah.
Peep how when you was a kid, you wasn't afraid of that monster, you embraced it.
Yeah.
So you embrace that dark side that a lot of people compress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in your music and your artistry, we have the ability to let loose.
Yeah.
And not have to wear the mask and decompress and like all this shit.
Exactly.
We're able to be free in that freedom. But I like how you generalize it, because even if it's from your experience, you know how to turn it into affirmations. Yeah. Dig what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah.
And that's levels.
Yeah, it
you
really
dig?
is.
That's levels,
it
bro.
Is.
That's powerful. Look, so cheers to
Cheers.
that. As far as your journey now and where you're heading towards, which is greatness, of course, and having the accountability to realize on the stuff that you need to work on, right? Give us a synopsis. We ain't gonna give them too much sauce.
Yeah.
But give us a synopsis of like just where you see yourself. You know what I mean? Like, where is it that you see yourself in the future?
I definitely feel like I'll have an empire of different things. I don't know what's going to be the thing that is like I'm most known or popular for. But I think my most important thing that I've done is plant seeds. Because as an event planner, no matter what you're doing, you're always planting a seed for somebody. Like, it's so many people who say, oh, that was my first show, or even I went to our show, a girl told me I did one of her first visual shows, or, you know, it's always great hearing that, because some people might surpass me, and it almost feel like, like you planted a whole bunch of seeds. So I think my main thing is to build community, plant seeds of just being that extra push other people need, or being a person that might get a person a yes that they might not have got otherwise. I love being a resource. And I'm gonna have an empire of other like leaders and people who aren't afraid to be themselves, and fashion, music, 3D animation. I see myself having like a little media company just for other artists. I want to do a lot. It's so much I want to do or see myself doing, but it's like right now I'm kind of like doing it all. So I don't know which one is going to be like, okay, this is what's going to make me sustain everything else that I'm doing. But everything I'm doing is going to be like times 50.
Come on. That's it. So just keep it going.
Yeah, you too.
So come on, you know. But I got a segment where I call it giving flowers, because that's what we're supposed to do. So, you know, I respect you. You know, I always got love for you. You feel me? But like, this is what I see with you, and this is what I love about you, right? Because, you know, I be coming with the analogies. You feel me? So a lot of people love to give a bouquet of flowers. You know what I'm saying? And present it. It looks good. But when you pluck a flower from its roots, you kill it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I love about you is, as you stated with planting seeds, you're not caught up in the clout or the hype of presenting the flowers to people. You're focused on building the garden.
Right. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
We're right. You know what I'm saying? So even if a nigga pluck a flower, guess what? Plethora.
Right.
Abundance.
Exactly.
And it's gonna come right back.
Yeah.
So that's what I always loved about you, bro. Like you've been a very genuine person from the jump. You know what I'm saying? And I just want you to keep going. This is what this is about. I just want to chop it up with the greatness that's around us.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? We need niggas who's not like clicked up, you feel me? Like who can just be with any and everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we just need to generate the culture of where we at. Of course, we're not gonna stay here, but it's just building that foundation, making it work so that when we expand, come on, let's go.
Exactly.
So going back to that garden, you know what I'm saying? The garden is gorgeous. You feel me?
Thank you.
I just enjoy sipping my little wine and just, you know, taking a look at the flowers. And I just be like, look at my nigga over there growing that garden. You feel me?
Facts.
But nah, that's what it's truly about, yo. And I just want you to keep up the good work out here.
Thank you.
You feel me? Come on.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, a little slice. But is there anything else you want to say to the people? You know?
Well, thanks for having me. I want to say thanks y'all for tuning in. And tune in for the next episodes.
Come on. Easy. Slight work. Yeah. See? Simple like that. That's it. In and out.
That was cool.
You feel me?
I mean, we just busted up.
That's it.